Hi guys, Elliott here. I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd do a video today about my hardest moments in the recovery journey. So yeah, it's going to be quite a personal one today, but hopefully you can use this as like fuel and motivation and hope for your own recovery journey, and hopefully you can relate to me in some way and, you know, have the faith that despite going through these things, you can come out the other side. So I think with these things, it's where it's good to go back to the start. So obviously some of you might know that I suffered from really severe HOCD. You might have seen a couple of my videos on the channel already, but yeah, so I'm 26 now. Started with full-blown HOCD when I was 18. I just broke up with my girlfriend and I wasn't really interested in dating. You know, I was finding it quite hard to get over the heartbreak being a teenager. And I remember just running around a football pitch and yeah, OCD just completely latched. It was like, I had this thought like, oh, because you don't want to date right now, that means you're gay. And then all of a sudden life just changed 0 to 100. And yeah, I all of a sudden became very scared that I was gay. I'd be performing all these relentless compulsions, like double checking my sexuality, asking people, incessant worrying, avoiding my friends, and I just spiraled into OCD. The physical symptoms quickly followed all of this as well. So pumping anxiety, fear, and you know, I was still at university at this time as well. So I had all my studies going on, and then all of a sudden I had OCD hit me like a ton of bricks. So trying to navigate my studies and this at the same time was really difficult. I failed exams, I failed modules, I didn't get the internship that I wanted just because my mind was so fixated with OCD. So many different things happened as well. Like I just completely lost confidence in myself. The person that I thought I was just went out of the window. I was like a shadow of the person that I thought I was. I couldn't really rely on myself. I had to rely on like other people to sort things out for me, just because I was so scared and consumed. Like I wasn't really thinking for myself. You know, I had to get like my uni housemates to like buy me food. I had to give them the money for it just because I just wanted to stay in bed, like miss lectures. I didn't want to go out. So that was really tough. Yeah, it was really tough, you know, just crying myself to sleep a lot of the nights. And then I had another form of OCD which sort of latched on as well. So it was like magic thinking. So I made up a lie about my granddad going to hospital, and I thought if something happens to him, then it's my fault. So OCD latched in that regard as well. And all of a sudden I just got into a really sort of vicious rumination cycle. And long story short, I ended up going into depression over that. And yeah, before I knew it, I was managing all the anxiety and the obsessions and compulsions from OCD, and then also had the depression as well. Like it was really tough, grueling. Like my brain just felt black. I couldn't really think. I was crying myself to sleep most nights. Not like, you know, like I said before, not being able to get out of bed, just missing out on the social side of university, my exams failing. I'd be jumping from like therapist to therapist as well at the same time. So like my student loan that I had, I'd literally just be spending that all on like therapy, and you know, it wasn't even getting me better in a way. So all the money that I had, I was just like wasting really. You know, I was having CBT. There was some sort of value in some of the CBT lessons that I was having, but nowhere near for a robust recovery. And I was spending lots of money on like hypnotherapy at a top London clinic. So you can imagine how expensive that was. And obviously that wasn't even getting me better. I thought, you know, this quick fix, this is going to work, this is going to be my way out of OCD. But obviously it doesn't work like that. You know, OCD is a long process, or OCD recovery is a long process that you need to work at. You're not just going to get a quick fix like that. I hate to say it, but maybe in the future, who knows, but not right now. So yeah, that was really tough. You know, having depression and like anxiety at the same time, the OCD, and lots of guilt as well. Rob speaks about that vice like grip that guilt has. So just managing all those things, yeah, that took a lot of steel and a lot of determination. But you know, if I can handle all those things at the same time, that just shows that in terms of frustration tolerance, other people can manage it as well. You know, if you really can actually manage a lot of things as a human being. And yeah, there was lots of stuff accompanying that as well. So lots of physical sensations. I was actually very sick. I had lots of things go wrong in terms of my health because of OCD. So a lot of battle scars, if you want to call it. So my stomach lining was completely eroded. I'll be having like endoscopies and all that sort of thing. Going in and out of hospital, doctors were like giving me loads of supplements and medication just to try and repair my gut lining. That was really difficult, and because of that I was having like leaky gut, so I was getting lots of cold and flu, and obviously with not sleeping as well, I was just really unhealthy, really a shadow of the person that I thought I was. Just no energy, completely sapped, which was difficult. Then I had lots of heart troubles as well at the same time. So I was having these things called tachycardias, which is basically when your heart beats really fast, all in one go. And honestly, it's the most scariest thing. You think you're like just gonna die, and like it's like chaotic as well. Like it wasn't even beating regularly. So I'd be like in and out of hospital because of that. I'd be having like Holter monitors, echocardiograms, and obviously the OCD was just fueling that. At one point I actually thought I had a genuine like heart issue, but obviously, you know, OCD can like be the cause of any like physical symptoms, you know, like heart and even back pain, which I didn't realise. And then I had like acid reflux as well, so that was really tough. I remember like my esophagus just completely burning, and like trying to swallow food was just really a really difficult task. I'd be like having lots of liquid foods and like soups and smoothies and that just to try and make it feel better. But yeah, I wasn't really getting the food that I wanted, so that was all like really difficult. Yeah, losing lots of weight, like not being well at all, just being really sick, really ill, having no energy, like completely like a loss of vitality and life. I'm just literally like a dead man walking essentially. So yeah, that was really tough. You know, crying myself to sleep, loss of confidence, and then as well for me as well, I was drinking lots of alcohol, and I was actually taking like recreational drugs because I literally thought like, so I take it when I go to a music festival. So I go to a music festival, like, I don't know, it's probably quite compulsive looking back, maybe once every 2 weeks. And I used to think of that as like the opportunity to escape, like the opportunity to, you know, get rid of this discomfort for the time being. And obviously I wouldn't advise doing that, but you know, looking back, it was really sad because I was just so stuck, and you know, I was going out and getting absolutely mashed up and being like sort of like just taken into medical tents, and you know, it's just horrible. Like looking back, with the other health problems I had going on, like with my heart and stuff, that probably wasn't a good idea. Somehow I'm still standing, but yeah, it was just like an escape. And you know, looking back, it wasn't great. And yeah, there was like other things as well. So I think with OCD, like it has like such a big effect on your family as well. So I remember sometimes I just like lay in bed all day, especially on the weekends. Like this is once university was done, by the way. So there was a period where I just couldn't really work. So I was spending a lot of time at home, just like wallowing in my suffering and just like staying in bed. And like I remember my dad just like coming in and like just sort of waking me up and just like getting me out of bed and just giving me a massive hug and just crying and saying, Elliot, I'm so sorry to see you like this. Like, what is there anything I can do to help? And obviously he couldn't, because I was just so stuck, and all the things that I tried just wasn't helping. And I think when like you really see like the effect it has on your family, that can really act as fuel and motivation to recover. So obviously when I came across OCD recovery, I used to think about my dad, like, you know, bawling his eyes out, and my dad doesn't really cry, so you know that it was a big thing. But I think about that and use that as motivations for my recovery, because you know, the people around you who love you and care for you, they don't want to see you like that. So yeah, that was a big like driving factor for me. But yeah, as I said, it was very tough. Once I did go back into work as well, I had a stressful like London City job in finance, so I was still having to wear like the depression and the anxiety symptoms while I was working, and that was, yeah, that you know, you can imagine that. I'd have to go to the bathroom for like, you know, half an hour to an hour at a time sometimes, just because of all the physical symptoms that I was feeling, and like the stressful job, and like just trying to escape. And like I'd sometimes leave work sick, and in the end I was only there for about 6 months because I didn't get past my probation because I was just sick all the time because of OCD. And then yeah, I just literally thought, what do I do now? Like I'm not getting any sort of career out of this. Like all my friends are doing really well, all making loads of money, got good careers, and there's me, like, you know, what am I going to do in my life? So yeah, that was really tough. But you know, I somehow just managed to force myself to go back to work. You know, I couldn't just mope around all day. I really had to try, and you know, I managed to get back into work after that. Luckily, you really can like work at the same time as OCD. I know it's so tough, but like you can do it. You just can. You can stand it as well. Like humans can stand like lots of things, and you know, you really just need to like sort of push yourself. So yeah, so I was back into work, and then yeah, another thing that I just found was obviously since you know, becoming part of the OCD recovery community, and the togetherness that it has, it really made like sort of reminded me of the times when like the loneliness that I felt on the recovery journey. You know, you feel like you're so alone. You feel like you're the only person who's experiencing it in the world, and like people, you can't really relate to other people because they don't understand the conditions, so they might just say to you, "Oh, you're worrying about it too much," or "You're overthinking things," but because they just don't understand OCD. Obviously, it's a disorder, right? It's you know, it's something that, you know, other people don't really understand, and you can't just, you know, stop ruminating or snap out of it. So that loneliness that you feel in the recovery journey, you know, that especially for me before coming across OCD recovery, just felt like a long winding road that was just leading to nowhere, and a long walk to the gallows and all of that stuff. I just didn't really know how I was gonna sort of get out of it, and you know, I just felt so alone and trapped in my mind and in my body. And it's a very sort of like humbling experience, just to know that you're not like, you know, free or like safe in your own mind. It's a very yeah, strange thing really. And I think as well, just the unpredictability of the OCD recovery journey, you know, just how like varied it can be from day to day. You know, one day you might be feeling all right, and the next day you might have a new theme just latch, or like a new thought come out of nowhere, and it's very unpredictable. But what you have to do is you have to just like lean into the recovery journey. You can't try and control it, because you know, in life we don't really have much control about what's going to happen. You know, even somebody without OCD doesn't really have too much control about what could happen tomorrow. So as scary as that is, it's just what you have to do. You have to lean into the recovery journey. But yeah, obviously having this like community now, you know, hopefully you don't feel alone like in your recovery journey, and you've got other like-minded people around you who can actually sort of help you to get to where you want to get to, and you know, engage in the WhatsApp chats and all that sort of thing. So yeah, just being where I am now, just looking back at the you know, the loneliness and the unpredictability of OCD, that's sort of something that's overlooked. I think it's you know, a very like sort of humbling thing for somebody to go through. But yeah, so yeah, that was my journey, and then here I am now. So yeah, thank you for watching the video, guys, and take care. I'll see you soon.